Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Hotel Orloff. It is July 9th, 2024. It's Basil Wolverton's birthday, and we're having our roof replaced here in rural Retreat, Virginia. Devastating baseball-sized hail hit us in late April, and we're finally getting the roof replaced. We've got a mostly Amish crew here replacing the roof. It's the second day. They started yesterday, Monday, about 6 a.m. So that's what's going on here. I've been cleaning out the garage. I've been doing yard work, all kinds of stuff. All right. Anyway, that gives you an idea of what's going on. Looks like they're starting to get close to being finished, but so the original roof is still there from, I don't know, probably decades ago underneath the the roof they're replacing. So, well, how about that? Waiting for the Donald Trump rally tonight at Mar-a-Lago in Florida. He's going to speak at 6 o'clock my time. Right now it's pushing 4. So, got a demolition derby here locally on Friday night. I'll be bringing that to you. Cleaning out the garage, man, look what I found. And I'd forgotten I had this, man. I'm glad I found it and got it out of the garage. I need to put it into the Batman room. Look at this. It's Batman sound effect stickers. Incredible, huh? Yeah, I'm finding all kinds of stuff everywhere. We moved here 2 years ago, and I'm still in the process of kind of moving in. Drusilla the dog, what are you barking at? I wonder what she's barking at. What could it be? What's up, Drew? You're barking and then yawning? I don't know. It kind of looks like they're loading up for the evening. I don't know what's going on. Well, so, last time I broadcast here on YouTube, I was sitting right here and I showed some toy squirt guns from the 60s on a live stream, and the live stream was immediately cut, and I was got some email that said something about showing an F-arm. You know, I don't want to even say the word. Don't think you're allowed to say bad words like that on YouTube. You know, could get you 90 days suspension from streaming, and then you can't stream. You don't get the 90 days countdown until you take some quiz to show that you know better than to. Anyway, so it was on a Saturday morning. There's no way to get a hold of anyone at YouTube. They don't have a phone number. So yesterday I sent an email to YouTube support and said I was showing some toy squirt guns, and I think it was the AI thought I was showing something bad, and got back. And then this morning I thought, well, let me just try to do a test StreamYard, and it worked. Before, it was not allowing me to. And then I saw that I had an email back and says, it doesn't look like I see any block on your account. Well, I guess what happened is once I sent the email, they must have taken it off, or maybe it was only a 24-hour ban, and they were telling me it's the new rules that started in June of this year, just last month. So don't be showing any toy guns, G's, on YouTube streaming, for those of you that collect toys. Anyway, so I learned that lesson. Excitement. So anyway, in the meantime, I went over to Rumble, and I have an account over there, but I never posted anything. And I figured out how to do a live stream over there from YouTube. And I did a whole live stream the next day, which is really pretty good. If you go over to Rumble, you ought to join Rumble if you haven't already. There's not as many people over there at Rumble. but it's more of a place where people go to have freedom of speech. People that have been banned from here on YouTube, but I don't know if you're supposed to do commercials for another streaming or sharing platform here on this channel. But anyway, on Rumble, I was able to stream for a few hours. I put a show up. I filmed a show on YouTube, and then I also put it up on Rumble. And so I've have a channel going over there. I kind of starting over there, and but now everything seems to be working okay on YouTube. But I'll still probably be posting every episode I film here over there. So I think this is like episode 1007 here on YouTube, and it'll be episode 2 or probably 3 over there. Anyway, you have to have 1,000 subscribers to start making some money to monetize your channel on YouTube. But on Rumble, it's automatically monetized, and if you get 1,000 views on a particular video, you'll get a little money. But I've already earned 19 cents, I'll tell you, on Rumble. Every day I seem to get an extra penny, and that's more money than I've earned on YouTube. So so I'm becoming wealthy on Rumble. So I got a package. Oh, I've got my Batman shirt on. Let me make a quick change. I think I might have kind of halfway fixed my tripod. Let me set you guys down for a moment. And I will return. Well, I'm back. Now I've got my Gotham City shirt on. Gotham City Comics is a fantastic store in Mesa, Arizona, and I was going to show you some comics and collectibles that I've gotten from Gotham City Comics. Boy, there's a post office is doing some weird things too. This package was supposed to get to me on the 3rd, and then the post office mailed it to Montana, which is not anywhere near where I live. And then it's came back finally. No, Drew, don't eat. Drew wants to sever the head of my Coke. Drew, stop messing with stuff, man. Oh, Drew's hungry. Let's feed Drew, the dog. And then we'll look at what I got from Gotham City Comics. So anyway.
Famous July 4th speech that he delivered 4 years ago at the foot of Mount Rushmore. Thank you, Mr. President.
Oh, boy. Lots of stuff going on in the news, man. The media is pretending, most of the media, maybe not Whoopi Goldberg, most of the media is turning on Biden, because they desperately want to put some other puppet in, which
expecting now a landslide from President Trump as long as there's no cheating in the system. I like how Danielle was talking about how we have to flood.
Everyone knows that they're going to replace Biden, except for Biden. He doesn't think it will happen, but probably what will happen is they'll put in Michelle Obama, because Biden's always been a puppet for Obama, and just putting in his wife would probably solve that problem. And then Barack Obama will be back in the White House. But, and that will make it competitive. So Trump, I think, is kind of hesitating on announcing who's going to be his vice president, to waiting to see who the Democrats are going to put up. So, so if they put up Michelle Obama, then that might necessitate him putting up Candace Owens or something. I don't know. Look at this. I've got these old newspapers. This is when Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2 came out. Boy, it was kind of fun, but boy, was that a disappointment. I've got these old Dallas Observers. If you live in Dallas, you know this newspaper. This one's from July 31st, 1986. See this comic strip, Life in Hell, by Matt Groening, that would later turn into The Simpsons. And, oh well. The Simpsons was a combination of that Life in Hell rabbit comic strip and Peter Bag's hate, that Buddy Bradley. That was kind of, oh well. All right, so we're back. We're going to sit on the floor and look at some comic books. How about that? Okay, so what do we have here? I have a Gotham City sticker that I like to put on the front of short comic boxes. And look at this. Oh, there's a red one and there's a black one. See? It's amazing, and that's great. He sent me a couple of stickers, promotional stickers that are, this is original art. This is not a print. This is an advertisement for John Gorris's YouTube channel, Robots, Mutants, Reload. Oh, and that reminds me. So that lady that I was talking to in email from YouTube, the problem was fixed. I now can stream on YouTube. I did a test this morning when I woke up. I asked her, she says, are there any other questions? I says, yeah, actually I have one other question. I've been unsubscribed from a bunch of my friends, John Gorris being one of them, and Meyer Greenblatt, and I didn't mention all the names, Red Letter Media. I mean, just almost like 1 out of 10 websites I go to regularly, I'll see it says subscribe. And I've been subscribed for years to these people. And then I click subscribe, and sometimes it'll say error subscribing to channel, and sometimes it'll look subscribed. Then I'll ring the bell, and it'll show that then I'll go somewhere else. I'll come back, and I'm not subscribed. It won't stick. So that's what's happening. So I thought, maybe I'm subscribed to too many people, and they've arbitrarily, decided who they're going to take away. Or maybe they're throttling certain people so they don't get to 1,000 subscribers, so they don't have to pay them. I don't know what's going on. So I asked her about that. I said, I tried unsubscribing to a bunch of channels that don't put up any content anymore, any shows anymore, and it doesn't seem to help. I thought maybe I've reached my max subscribers, because that used to be an issue on YouTube and Facebook. If you had too many friends, they wouldn't let you become friends with anyone else, something like that. Anyway, so I haven't gotten a response back on that. She asked me to send a screenshot, so I tried to go and subscribe to Meyer Greenblatt, and it said error subscribing to channel, and I snapped a picture of my screen and sent it to the lady. So maybe that problem will be fixed too. Here's a sticker that that John Gores does promoting Gotham City Comics. And then Kevin Johnson, the owner of Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona, he gives these out to customers, to lucky customers. I hope they appreciate that they're getting original art from an incredible award-winning artist. He's won awards in film festivals with his fantastic animation. Okay, well, Kevin was telling me that he got this, some Democrat operative there in Mesa contacted him, said, would you like some of our comic books? And he kind of said, no, thank you. But anyway, 2 days later, he got some. A sample, about 2 or 3 of them, propaganda. And I said, I was ordering some comics from him. I said, send me the propaganda, because I love propaganda. I love promotional comics, advertising comics. You know, for instance, the Kip's Big Boy comic, The Adventures of Big Boy, that they used to give away at the, when you went to the Big Boy restaurant. I like that. I like, you know, got tons of that. But anyway, this is interesting, because what it is, they're trying to show that they're trying to make sure the Republicans don't steal the election, you know, with dishonest, which of course is war. You know, whatever they accuse someone of, it's always something they've done or they've done in the past. Hint, hint. Yeah. Anyway, so this is the comic book. Drew, what is the matter? Drew, what is the matter there? You want to be part of the show? You're knocking my stuff around. My goodness. No, you aren't going to... No. Okay. About to chew on a 1960s X-Men comic. That's not about to happen. I guess she's still hungry. Okay, where's the cap to this first lug in her drink? Oh, here. All right, well, I'll tell you what. Let's go see if the roof crew is still here, and give Drew another food, because she seems to be needing that. Oh, gosh almighty. Did you hear that cracking of my knees? In stereo, probably.
Did it anyway. Whose money is that? It's our money. It's our money. It's robbing ultimately from, you know, hardworking American taxpayers.
Anyway.
You know, this country's basically going broke. It's in debt by trillions and tens of trillions, 30+ trillion dollars.
Well, their vehicle is gone. It could be that they're gone, most of the crew. Maybe they still got the lift over there. I don't know what's going on. It's awfully early to be quitting. Well, 4. I don't know. They started early yesterday. Okay, fantastic. Let me set this down. So how have you guys been doing? So anyway, the Dum Dum celebration this Thursday night will happen at 6:30, and or thereabouts. And I guess I could simulcast it to YouTube and StreamYard. It's a little trickier to stream from StreamYard to Rumble. It requires extra steps that take a computer dummy like me a while to figure out. So that was a challenge, I have to admit. But I'm not gonna allow some giant corporation to shut me down. So I decided I would head over to Rumble. But what can I do? Okay, so okay, so this comes from Clean. I love my Coke over there. Clean Elections. As cleanelections.gov. So this is government published. So this is paid for by your tax dollars, or maybe just the tax dollars of people in Arizona. The Arizona government has put out that comic book. I gotta go get my drink. Yeah, I'm discovering all kinds of things lately, so lots of material for shows. Not many comic books, so you comic book type people aren't gonna be that entertained, but I'm finding things that are interesting to people that like more than one thing. Yeah. But that's all of you. You wouldn't be watching because already we're half an hour into it and you haven't seen a single comic book. So you can't be watching if you're just one of those comic book people. Okay. All right. Yeah, so anyway, what is this? So what does the government pay for? Captain Activate and the future voters. These are the future voters. Okay. It's all new first issue, so you know it's collectible. Look at the all new. Let's get activated. So this is showing you. Let's see if they show who the enemy is. Oh, look, there's what's his name? Is it Captain Activate? Who are the villains? Come on, where are your villains? Look at this. Are you turning 18 soon? Register and vote and level up your political power. Oh, there's the villain. There's the evil Donald Trump type surrogate. Yeah, well, fantastic. I wonder how many other cities are making promotional comic books to convince people to vote for Biden or whoever. And then you get little stickers. Get democracy done, you know, because whenever you hear democracy, you know, because it's, we don't live in a democracy, we live in a republic. But anyway, look at this. This is a collectible card. Look at that great artwork. Scan that, look, you can scan, I'll put this up and you can scan it. Scan this QR code to learn more about Captain Activate and civics curriculum. Oh, so teachers can use this book in their class. Oh my gosh. And look, a sticker. He was gonna, I think, probably toss this in the trash. And I said, no, I want that, man. All right. So, Kevin got some reader copy, Silver Age comics in. Several years ago, about 4 or 5 years ago, I decided that like a vampire needs blood, you know. I need to get at least one Silver Age comic per month. It could just be a Silver Age comic, couple of dollars, you know. one Silver Age comic a month just to give me the will to go on, just the dopamine, whatever, that something gives me a rush, because there's a connection with that time period that I love. And a comic book is like a time machine back to another time. So I got some, look at this, man. It's signed by the artist up here. It's X-Men 29. Back then it was just the X-Men. Later it was the Uncanny X-Men, but this time, yeah, they're almost floating heads. We'll count them as floating heads. I don't know what that says. Dr. Ock, Groovy, well, it says something. The Super Adaptoid strikes. Yeah. Got a little bit of a flaw, you know, a little bit of a missing thing. But it's still going to be darn fun to read. Says number 123. It's number 29. I instantly know what that means. It means a kid back in the 60s, possibly early 70s, had his own comic book library. And this was just the 123rd comic book he had. It has nothing to do with the number of the book. And that way, if a friend wanted to borrow a comic, he would know which one was out. And he just made a list. And this is what was out that month. This book I walked miles to buy, literally. Not when it came out. I was born in 65, and this is probably, when is this from? February 67. So this came out at Christmas of 1966. So that's the ice skating, because comics, as you know, are dated several months later. Oh, wow. This is what I love. You know, look, what's different about this than the average comic book you'd pick out today? Look at all the words. It's fun to read this. And it takes you a while to read it. Look at that. Today, most comic books are big, giant, full panels, or on a page, or 2 panels, and there's no words. Look at this 2-page spread. This is what I like. The Marvel comics of the 60s, where they have 6 panels per page. And they're not going to deviate from that unless something big happens. See? 6 and 6, 12 panels. Fantastic. So, that one comic book should be enough to get me through the month, being actually touching something from when I was a little baby. But look, I have this wonderful Flash comic. 172. The modern collector would scoff at this with the color breaking. Look, it's color breaking. Yeah, but I love this because it still has some gloss. The staples are attached and I can read it. I have no intention of slabbing I hope I didn't show that. See, that's probably going to get me in trouble. We used to play with those things, and they didn't have red tips. Oh boy, here's the, look at that. I have that issue of Justice League. These are from the same collection. Has this got a number on it? This all came from the same guy. This is August of 67. The other one was, what, February of 67? So, yeah. All bought within a few months of each other. I don't know about that, man. Looks a little strange, man. Yes, Jimmy Olsen comics were always fun. Just so much fun. Carmine Infantino art, so that's great. Flash 172. Comic which I do not have in my collection. And here is Green Lantern 52, another comic I don't have. Oh, this is number 99 from that collection. That means there was a lot of other comics in this collection that maybe are still around somewhere. Okay, this April of '67. So that's when I was 2. Art by Gil Kane, fantastic art. Look at that. The Green Lanterns of 2 different worlds. Look at that. We were in a race to land on the moon. You can look at this, 2 astronaut ads right next to each other. You can make yourself astronaut tough and then win this full-size Gemini spaceship. I'd like to know what the deal was with that. Full-size? Who won it? No put on. This is for real. The wildest way out prize ever awarded in any contest. A 19-foot prototype of the famed NASA spacecraft. Your Gemini capsule is just like the original. There's a detachable hatch, equipment section. So, your name and picture will be in newspapers and magazines all over the country. So what are you going to do with it? Keep it in your bedroom? I don't think so. Well, if your name is going to be on magazines and newspapers, that means that whoever won this contest there must be a way to search for that on the internet. Find out who won this. 830 total prizes, 29 second prizes. Vox guitars are winners. Ask the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, or Paul Revere and the Raiders. And every second prize winner gets a Vox Serenader, the wild 6-stringer with a big best sound that's in from LA to Liverpool. Then you get 600 third prizes. 500 lucky third prize winners will receive a 6-kit package of Revell plane and ship model kits, and 100 others will get the big realistic Gemini kit Blast Off. So this is from the sponsors, Revell model kits. Here's a promotional full-page ad for the Black Beauty Aurora model kit. Oh man, this music. Damn, I can't take, the Right Side Broadcasting has the worst music, and I gotta turn this down. If I got a copyright claim for this crappy music, that would be the worst. Oh my gosh. So, apparently over on Rumble, they're not as, it's easier to play music over there. They're not going to zap you instantly. And, I've always wanted to do a channel. I've always wanted this channel to be more about music and also comic books also, but really I just want this to be a time warp showing cool stuff from different periods. But since I can't play music, you know, I can just show covers of albums. It's not, and tell you, go check this out. This artwork is fantastic. Gil Kane was great at this time period. And here is, this is also from that same collection, The Atom. I mean, to me, pages are white, staples are fine. I mean, it is worn. I mean, you can see there's wear because it was actually read by a human being. More wonderful Gil Kane art. Wow, it's so great. That's great. I think he just sent me this free because I had added it to my pile, and I guess he decided to throw it in. It's an artist I love, Richard Corbin, and I really didn't know Richard Corbin had ever done art for Swamp Thing. Wow. Oh, wow, this is cool. Look, remember Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow? This is a fold-out poster for it. I thought that was a fun movie. It was done with computer-generated imagery, but it was they were trying to make it, you know, bring to life an old movie serial, basically, and it was it's pretty neat. I thought it was pretty neat. Oh, it's a whole giant poster. But today it's almost a movie that's completely forgotten. I don't ever hear people talk about Sky Captain and the World of Tomorrow, but I sure enjoyed it at the time. Richard Corbin was just great. And then I got number one finally. I must have had this in my whole pile there for a year or, you know, a long time. Dwellings is Jay Stevens, and Jay Stevens is now doing some artwork for this new revived EC Comics line that I think starts in a few weeks. I'm a little skeptical of it because I've seen some artwork from it, and it just like kind of, no, it's not worthy of the EC name. Well, let's see. Let's give them a chance. They're reviving EC, but not the titles of EC. I think they must have bought the rights to use the EC name, but not the titles like Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Horror, all that. So they're calling things, they've got a title called Epitaphs from the Abyss, which doesn't roll off the tongue like Tales from the Crypt. Epitaphs from the Abyss is their horror comic. And then EC did science fiction, which they really did science fiction even better than their horror comics, if you can believe that. So EC had weird science and weird fantasy. Well, they're doing something called Cruel Universe, which that rolls off the tongue a little bit better than Epitaphs from the Abyss. Epitaph is a word that most people never say out loud. You read the word, but no one actually says that word. It's just one of those words that is a little... Anyway, what this guy does is he draws this horror comic, which I have not read yet, but it's apparently a pretty grisly, kind of scary horror comic, but it's done in the Harvey Comics house style. And it's done very well. It really does look like an old Harvey comic. And this guy is now doing, for the revived Gold Key line, he's doing an actual kids comic in this style. This is for adults. I mean, obviously, the cover kind of gives that away. But anyone that's my age remembers the little TV screens on the side for the Harvey comics, because Harvey was so excited in the early 60s that their cartoons were on television. The repeats of the old theatrical Casper, you know, and Little Audrey cartoons, but also they had these made-for-TV cartoons around 1960, I guess, that had Casper and Wendy, and I never saw those ones growing up. I saw those later, but... And so, look, he's got parodies of old ads. Are you not It says, free yourself from seeing moon monsters. Horrifying. This is pretty good. So there's a whole, there are about, I don't know, 4 or 5 of these now. I've got the first one. I'm gradually whittling my whole pile down over at Gotham City. I already got one of these. It's a facsimile of the first issue of Mad. I wanted to get a second copy. Now, I'm not one of those people that likes to have 2 copies. I just wanted to have one put in this rack that I started of Golden Age facsimile comics because I just thought it would really look good. So that's what I did. This is a facsimile that is receiving rave reviews from EC comic collectors. Obviously it's slightly smaller than a Golden Age comic, but it's very, the colors, everything. I've shown it to you before on the show because I got a copy about a month or 2 ago. Okay. Also from that same collection that had those DC comics comes this comic, Beetle Bailey. What does that say up there? Oh, it said Lynn. I could see it written in, I could see the indentation of the name Lynn, and then marker went over it. And then down here, the name Lynn was written in cursive, and someone put magic marker over it. So this guy stole it from his sister and claimed it for his own by completely obliterating her name. And Beetle Bailey, the Beetle Bailey comic strip, the guys were very interested in women, and very much like the Archie comic. I mean, it's oh wow, this is wild. But what I was wowing about is an ad I've never seen before: amazing circus of 6 growing animals. That is so wild. I've never seen that ad. This is a very early Gold Key comic. Very early. How early? February '64. I used to know all the dates and everything. Gold Key split away from Dell. As I recall, there was Whitman, and Dell was making comics for Whitman. And then Whitman decided, we can do it. We don't need those people doing it for us. We can do our own. So they formed Gold Key. Is that right? Is that the story? Something like that. Okay, so there's a bunch of these facsimiles coming out from, they have the seal on them. They're coming out from PS Art Books. No, not PS Art Books. Is it PS Art Books? It's from Roy Thomas's company. Oh man, who's doing these? Anyway, they're exact facsimiles, except that they're a little bit smaller. Yeah, I guess. There's no way a normal human would ever be able to touch this comic in its original form. I mean, yeah, I mean, I guess you could strike oil like Jed Clampett and buy these comics. I mean, there's people on YouTube that have a lot of money. You can show these books all the time, but they always get slabbed comics. And I don't know. I guess it's interesting to some people. You know, I guess. Whatever floats your boat, man. Okay, so the cover is kind of stiff, like well, if you remember telephone books, it's kind of like that. But inside, it's an exact replica shot from the original comic. This is Tigra. You can get these from Gotham City Comics. You just have to call them up, him up. Kevin Johnson's the owner of Gotham City Comics in Mesa, Arizona. You call him up and see what facsimiles he has. If he doesn't have this particular one, I think that there were 3 issues of Startling Comics they did facsimiles of, and they came out in 1 week. I put all 3 on hold, but I have limited money because as a thing, just because life, because Joe Biden, I'll blame him. This is, I don't know, a $15 book. Now, you get the original, it's going to cost you thousands, so then $15 doesn't sound that bad, but I don't think you can even eat in Taco Bell anymore for $15. And I had shown an issue of this comic book before on my show, but I said, I guess there's a 4-issue miniseries. I don't have the other issues. So he said, I've got tons of this hardcover. I'll just send you one free. Because Steve Rude, who's a great artist, lives there in Arizona, and he came through and was signing them, and so therefore he has tons of them. This Steve Rude is famous for a comic called Nexus. I always admired the artwork, but I didn't really know how to start with Nexus. It's like, it seemed like a long-running thing. I didn't know how do I, but when he does these, when he does Marvel stuff, and he's done DC too, he's done Batman and Superman, he always does this classic style, and it really feels like Kirby, but it's got Steve Rude mixed with his, it's just beautiful. That's what it is, man. It's beautiful. So, if you've read all the 60s Thor comics, this probably, when did this come out? In the 90s, it's called Thor Godstorm. I don't know when this came out. Let's take a gander here. Oh, wow, that's really hard to read. No, this could be more recent. 2010, possibly. Yes, indeed. Well, what do you think? That's my haul from Gotham City Comics, and I'm gonna call him up before too long and get some. He was at a convention, and there were some comics for sale there for just, I think, $3 each, and he picked up a handful for me that I've never seen for sale in my life, and so I gotta call him up and get those sent, because now I don't have anything coming to me in the mail, and it's like I enjoy being I enjoy looking at the and watching where my package is on its way to me, you know, tracking it. That's fun. It's fun until it gets shipped to Montana. It's like, wait a second, it's being shipped the wrong way. That's not fun, but it's fun watching something come to you. It's kind of like Christmas morning. You're waiting for Santa Claus. So, I guess these guys are all gone. Let's go outside and see if they're all gone. And maybe that dang music's over with on Right Side Broadcasting. Oh, some speaker's already talking. Let's see who this is. Trump's supposed to, almost fell over. Trump's supposed to start at 6, and it is now, what time is it? Oh, I need to close the door to the garage if they're gone, man. I have the door to the garage open because they've been charging their batteries. It's almost 5. Okay. let's go out through the garage, walk around, see if they're gone. And if they are, might as well shut it down. Oh, it's Mike Lindell talking. Mr. Pillow. I like him, man. He's a nice guy. Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill on Instagram today posted a list of things that supposedly Trump wants to do that was just a ridiculous list. And he says, I dissent in the name of democracy. It was just ridiculous. So you ought to go to Instagram and look at Mark Hamill's account. It was ridiculous. I mean, it made it sound like Handmaid's Tale, basically. But they print that stuff, and they're people that actually believe that. Incredible. Okay, stay back, Drew. I don't want her coming out to the garage because the door is wide open. I don't want her to get out. Okay. Looks like they're cleared out, possibly. Let me set my drink down. I gotta show you this. This zombie raid machine is no longer functional, but my friend put a TV set in it, and we've got a DVD player in there, anyway, it's a fun prop. Okay. So this is the device they use to get up on the roof. Let's go see how things look. This is what was up on the roof. Okay. See some of the original roof up there at the very top. The siding's also going to be replaced. Just look how the hail made holes. Well, I guess they're gone for the day. Okay. Look at this highly collectible Coke. Look at this terrible drawing of Wolverine there. Really, seriously, it's bad. Okay. Look, it's something Leatherface would use. Yeah. What is this, man? Does this still work? Kind of doubt it. Yeah, it still works. I guess it shows you where dogs or cats have peed on the carpet. I found it out here in the garage. I'm gradually moving in. This is our third summer here, and I'm still moving in. It takes a long time. So Captain Strangelife's about to make a move soon. It's a challenge when you've got a big collection, or hoard, as some people like to call it. But just one of those things. A man's got to do what a man's got to do. So I brought this hammer in because you never know when you're going to need something like this, man. Here comes Drew downstairs. She gave up on me. Well, of course, one of our sponsors is Gotham City Comics. And he doesn't give me any money. He just puts comics on hold for me. So he'll be a sponsor. I'll promote him forever for doing that for me. And our new sponsor is the Colt 45 Bottling Company. This is the drink that Billy D. Williams, Lando Calrissian drinks. So, you know it's got to be good.
And my all-time personal favorite, we're going to watch the decision desk over at
Okay, so Donald Trump's coming up. A show that's an hour and 4 minutes long, that's not really an acceptable length. People don't like short shows. But I don't know what else I can show you. How else can I entertain you? Maybe there's something over here. You know why they call it Colt 45, besides the obvious, that it's also, there was something with the same name that we can't talk about on YouTube, but they knew that someday the 45th president of the United States would be fantastic, so that's why they really called it Colt 45. But they need to change the name to Colt 47. Do they even still make Colt 45 beer? I don't know. I wouldn't know. There's a store a block from here that opened up. That's a little antique store, and they sell little beer cans, man. That's where I got that today for a couple bucks. Because I'm insane. Oh, and I got some other things from there, except I don't know if I can show them on YouTube.
Vivan los Estados Unidos. Long live the
They're
United States.
They have a whole bunch of these promotional pencils and pens from. This is like something I didn't even know this existed until this lady pulled out bags of them she'd gotten. She'd gotten someone's collection, and they're pens and pencils that are made like bullets. Have you ever heard of this? Are you allowed to show these on YouTube? I don't know. Well, I'm not streaming. Oh shit! It looks like this. But but see, it's got an eraser on the tip. This one says Coast to Coast Stores, Holstein Town, Steve Michalek, phone 96. So you got phone number, and then you take the tip off, or how do you do it? Just pull it off, and it's a little pencil. It's but the ones that don't have erasers on them are pens. I just got 2 of them, and this one says compliments of Johnson Electric and Radio Shop. I'm trying not to show the tip so it doesn't upset YouTube. Television, radio, and appliances, electric wiring, phone 6325-908 Washington Street. I don't know what city this is from, but see, and then you take the tip off and you got a pencil. This is, do you know anything about this, guys out there? These are the 2 coolest ones, because what you got to look for is the tip and how cool the store is, and how cool the font, the type, the lettering on it is, and that it's got an old style phone number on it. Because it looked like there was one that said been in business 1946 to 1991. That means that little bullet pen or pencil was from 1991, and that's not interesting to me, because 1991 is not an interesting year to me. I like the old stuff, so I got those 2, and that's incredible. Here's something used to sell in Johnson Smith catalog back in the 30s. It's a little I've seen it in their catalog. I have one from the 30s. It's a little, it's supposed to move. It's a little harem dancer.
We like small government. We are family oriented.
How about that?
Said it very clearly. Hispanics are Republicans. They just don't know it. This is the time for us to know it and to do something about it.
Look, I'm a member of the Archie Club. Well, they'll probably finish the roof tomorrow. It looks like they could probably knock out the rest of it in a day. And then they got to start working on the siding. And then there's a couple of windows they're supposed to fix and some painting. We'll see how all this goes.
And don't make any mistakes with false promises from the Democratic Party, who has been playing political football with the Hispanics for the last 30 years. His name is Donald Trump.
Well, I don't have anything else to say. I'll see you in a couple of days. The Dum Dum party Thursday night. Hopefully you'll be there. And de pinga. ¿Cómo estás? Aquí usted. Sayonara.